there's a bird right outside our car.
Wait.
Look at him go.
Oh,
look at him go.
He was so close I couldn't even see him. It's a robin.
Anyway. Oh, bye-bye, little birdie. Anyway. Sorry to get distracted.
Wildlife of Michigan.
Cool. Okay. So we've got about like 3 hours of film. I hope we don't.
Can we summarize it all in that time? This hour and we recited the movie line by line.
Twice. Anyway, okay.
Friends rather than sitting deeply far away from each other.
All right. Hey guys, this is what did we call this? The
Hotbox box office.
There we go. We just got out of seeing Detective Pikachu. We figured we'd just kind of do a review of it.
Yeah, we're gonna do reviews of video game movies.
Yeah, when they come out. Yep.
So the next one we're currently planning is the Sonic the Hedgehog movie when that comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So this will be our first.
Yeah.
And that'll probably be our second, unless something. I don't know if things unexpectedly show up at the theaters. They're just like, it's here.
Right.
No promotion or anything. It just rolled in one day.
I mean, if I see a trailer for something video game related. Anyway, so before we really get into it, when we were walking out of the theater, I knew that like you get Pokemon cards with your tickets, but we didn't get any.
Yeah, they didn't say anything when we.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't get them from the people.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. We ordered our tickets.
Yeah, we ordered them offline because we needed them to be at this time because they had a 420 showing. Oh,
perfect.
He sent me the list of times, and I was like, "What other one could it be?"
So as we were walking out, we saw somebody behind the counter giving Pokemon cards to this like 6-year-old,
5 or 6-year-old. Yeah, it was a very, very small child.
Young child, and we were like, "We didn't get Pokemon cards."
I know. We just like ran over and we were like.
So we got Pokemon cards. And we're gonna we're gonna open them on camera.
Whoop, whoop.
They're probably the same in each pack.
We'll see.
But yeah, so we're gonna start with a spoiler-free, kind of summary review of the movie, and then we'll get into spoilers. We'll warn you before that. So here we go. We're gonna open some Pokemon cards and talk about this movie. Look, it's Detective Pikachu.
I got Detective Pikachu, Charmander, an ad for some official Pokemon merchandise, and a pamphlet about a game.
Okay, so they're not all the same cards, because I got Psyduck.
I got Charmander.
Cute.
But we both got Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Detective Pikachu comes in each one. It's like Detective Pikachu and then one more.
And they're the...
Panic, this Pokemon is now confused.
They're the movie versions, too,
yes,
which is cool.
Yes, they are. Cool. So, that...
Coffee break. That's cute. Does yours...
Yep, they're the same card. Cool. Anyway, so, what did you think of the movie?
I fucking loved it.
I did too. You are not on camera at all.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to put these things away and then I'll come back. Okay. I loved it. Yeah. I fucking loved it. I thought it was adorable. I was just enamored the entire time. The entire fucking time. And it's the perfect length because I'm not... Usually I get really bored of movies. This one I didn't.
I could have handled it being a little bit longer if it was like at the 2-hour mark. It's only an hour and 44 minutes or something like that. So I thought it could have been longer. The lead up to the finale felt a little bit rushed. It feels like they didn't really learn much, and then all of a sudden things are happening. I
guess that's kind of true. Yeah, it was like the reveal and the climax kind of all happened at the same time. Like all of the reveals happened as the climax happened. It was, which is fine.
Yeah,
but there was
it just felt like it was going at a fairly steady pace through the whole.
Yeah, there was like a lot of world building, a lot of character building, and then like everything.
Yeah,
and then the end.
Yeah. The CGI was incredible. It was
amazing. Everything looked so fluffy and cute. You could see Pikachu's you could see his skin moving around his skull, which is really weird to say about such a cute movie, but like he looked like a real ass animal. Yeah. Like I felt like I was seeing a real fucking animal.
One thing that I really liked is Pikachu's fur was like dynamic the entire movie. And like not just in the like it was moving around in realistic ways.
There was a scene where like he got wet and it looked wet. There was numerous parts where like he just got dirty because he would have gotten dirty doing that. And like it wasn't even like big like super you know, like it wasn't like major battle damage kind of scenes. Like he'd roll on the ground and then he'd come up and he's dirty, you know? And like he would be. It was cool.
The attention to detail in this movie was incredible. It did look a little... There was, like, literally one time when I noticed, like, I was like, that's definitely CGI. Almost every other time, I was like, that is a real-ass Pokemon.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yes.
Everything looked good. Yeah. Everything. I don't think there was a single Pokemon where I was like, that one didn't look that good. Like, every single one that they showed, I was like, that's a very good representation of how I would have pictured that thing looking. And like the Rattatas looked like real rats. Like, and a lot of the ones you didn't even get like that long of a shot on. They were just there.
Which makes sense.
Like a Rattata just runs by in the alley, or a Spearow flies by.
Yeah. Which makes sense because they're just the animals of this world.
Yeah. The what are they? The little monkeys.
Apom.
Yeah, they were kind of like squirrels of the city.
Yeah.
That's how they were on a fire escape running around.
Yeah.
It was neat. It was neat as fuck. And then there's a part where they're like in the wilderness and all the wilderness animals are really cool looking. You saw that in the trailer. The Bulbasaur's in the creek.
Yep, all the Bulbasaurs. That was adorable. It felt really mature for a Pokemon movie.
There were a lot of jokes that would have gone way over the head of anybody in the audience, but like in a good way. Yeah.
Like it felt like this was a movie for both new Pokemon fans and people who grew up like watching the original show and the original games. Like people
I feel like anyone, even if you had like no fucking idea what a Pikachu was, you know, you'd never even heard of Pokemon. I feel like you could watch this movie. I'm kind of surprised that Critics like this is just for fans. Like the world is populated with these creatures. There you go. That's all you need.
Yeah.
That's really all you need.
You'd understand it better knowing a little bit
for
about
sure.
Pokemon,
but I wouldn't say it's one of those, like, unless you've played every single game, unless, like, I've watched every single series, you know? I didn't think it didn't go over my head, and I haven't seen everything.
What was I even saying? Damn. Okay, so they do a good job of, like, setting up, like, the major concepts, like, that Pokemon are just part of this world, and that, in ancient times, they would, like, capture and train Pokemon. Now this concept has kind of evolved into Pokemon battles as we know them, and they do explain, like, kind of what Pokemon battles are. They explained that, like, Tim wanted to be a Pokemon trainer, which you see in the trailers. And they don't really go into what a Pokemon trainer is, but it's kind of obvious. You capture the Pokemon and
I think they do very briefly, don't they, when they're showing like the hieroglyphics or like they got
sort of, yeah. But I mean, they do a good job of setting everything up. So like if you want to take your grandpa who doesn't know what a Pokemon is, he might enjoy it.
He might be into
it. Do you have any other non-spoiler?
I'm honestly trying to think really hard. I feel like at this point I'm just gonna say, like, that's we can promise that part's non-spoilery. You know, I don't want to start talking about something that accidentally drops spoilers. That's why I'm being very careful, because I'm one of those people who's just like, I have a thought, and then a thought, and then a thought, and then a thought, and then a thought. So
yeah,
that part's non-spoilery. From this point forward, go with your own risk.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Only criticism. Only one. Literal only criticism of this movie. You only see Eevee for like 10 seconds and you don't even solidly see her. She's just on a desk. And then, like, they walk in and you hear her making, like, Eevee noises. And then she evolves into Flareon and then zooms away. And then there's an Eevee parade float. That's all you see of Eevee. I was sad because I love Eevee. Yeah. But that's me.
Yeah.
That's not a criticism of the movie. The movie's fucking great. The movie is amazing. Like, amazing. From start to finish. I had never played Detective Pikachu. I didn't know what this plot was going to be.
Right.
I just knew I was going to see some Pokemons.
It was surprisingly faithful to the story of the game, which is funny because, like, my biggest complaint of the game was that it felt so dumbed down for kids. And the movie did the exact opposite. which was good. I honestly think that the movie is better than the game.
It was really good. Yeah. I don't know anything about the game other than apparently there's a Pikachu and he is sure as fuck a detective.
Yes. Yeah, no, it follows the same kind of basic plot where, like, Tim Goodman
I guess we might as well run down the basic plot so you can enjoy this review if you haven't seen the movie or if you just want to know the plot of the movie for some reason. I don't know. You do. Okay, so it starts and he's with his friend, and his friend wants him to catch a Pokemon, but he doesn't want to.
Yeah, and you find out about that later.
And you find out
why he doesn't want to catch a Pokemon, and it's like heartbreaking.
It's really good. It's a really good scene. But yeah, he doesn't want to catch this Pokemon, which is Cubone, and he's cute. That's like the first one that you see.
That was adorable.
Cubone. He's adorable. He almost catches him. He does not. Cubone's not happy with the attempt, so they have to run away.
So, and so then Tim gets a call. And you don't really hear what's on the call, but...
Right. Well, he comes back and he's like, now that I'm back in service, I have 5 missed voicemails. And they're like, maybe it's an insurance emergency. It's not an insurance emergency.
So it's basically he's getting a call about his dad, who was in an accident.
Yes.
His dad is a detective in Rhyme City, which is this location that the movie mainly takes place in.
Yes.
So Tim goes to Rhyme City and doesn't really want anything to do with what's going on. He doesn't have a great relationship with his father. And so he just goes into his dad's apartment, and on the way there, he runs into this girl named, what was her name? Lucy. Who is a reporter. She wants to be a reporter. She's actually like an intern.
And like, with her first scene, I thought she was going to be really annoying, but she's actually really endearing.
She is. I honestly was like, she is really annoying in this first scene, but every scene after that, I was like, I like her. I like her a lot.
It seems like she's kind of trying to run a script or something. You kind of get the vibe that she's like quoting something, but they never really, like, she just comes down the stage and she's like, doing this weird, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's really odd.
It definitely seems like she was trying to capture
like
this,
sound like she's
from like a film noir kind of thing,
or just that she's like better at, or she's higher up in, she thinks that she's like what do you call it? Not a detective, an investigative reporter, but she's actually, she like makes listicles. She's like, they just want me to list the top 10 cutest types of Pokemon. They're all cute.
So she runs into her. She's researching Tim's dad's disappearance, and because she thinks that he was onto something. Harry Goodman.
He was a good man.
He was a good man. So.
Or is.
So. She's investigating Harry and the accident and everything, and Tim just doesn't want anything to do with it. He really just wants to, like, he's there to kind of collect his dad's things and say goodbye. And then he just wants to go back to his normal insurance selling life.
Yes.
But in the apartment, he runs into Detective Pikachu and finds out that
he grabs a vial.
Oh, yeah.
Full of purple shit. Purple electricity? It's kind of hard to explain what is in there. And he either breaks it or opens it. I don't remember which.
He opens it.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just like, what the hell is this? And opens it
and
up.
it sprays him in the face. Yeah. He starts coughing really hard. He opens the window because he thinks it's just like some kind of chemical that he's unleashed into himself. And there's a whole bunch of, I can't remember their names. Apom. Hanging out on his fire escape.
They breathe it in.
They breathe it in, and their eyes turn purple, and they start freaking the fuck out.
Yeah. So then he meets Detective Pikachu and finds out he can understand him. But before anything else can really happen, the Apom burst in and start attacking them and chase them up onto the roof, and they get away, and there are people.
Yeah, there are people walking very close to the car.
We're just gonna wait.
Yep.
Okay.
They are still very close to the car. They have stopped one car over.
Oh my gosh.
Residential life. We don't film in a studio. They're going away. Okay. Whatever. Not like we're doing something wrong.
Yeah,
it's just weird to be talking to a camera in your car and then have two elderly people and a very young child walk up. Hard to explain that to them. Anyway.
Okay, so the Aipom chase them around, and then they just kind of go back to normal. And Tim and the Pikachu were talking, and they eventually decide to kind of work together to figure out what happened to his father. Because they decide that...
because they... Pikachu was... They didn't say it was a Pikachu, but they said his partner was in the car with him when he died.
Right, yeah.
So they're like, if you're alive, maybe he's alive.
Yep. And then he goes and tells the police captain that, and he shows him some video footage of, like...
This very bad car crash, basically.
Nobody could survive.
It flips over toward the screen over a bridge. Like, it was on an overpass, flips over towards the screen. There's, like, a poof for a second.
It was
flips
bad.
over towards the screen.
No normal person would have survived it.
Yes.
Somehow Pikachu did.
Yeah, but, you know, Pika.
And so they follow some leads. They, okay, so they found out...
I also did... There was a scene... They're being chased by the Aipom.
Yes.
And Pikachu starts calling for help.
Oh my god, yes!
Which they don't actually show it to show you, like, what everyone else is hearing, but I was like, you just know. He's just running around going, Pika, 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 Pika! Like, it's Ryan Reynolds in, like, genuine, horrible distress, being like, help!
A man
please!
is dying!
But you know, everyone just goes, Pika, Pika!
So, okay, so they find out through Lucy, I believe, that Tim's dad had an informant about the vial of stuff that that Tim found, which is called R.
I 100% forgot about this scene that we're about to start talking about, actually, but yeah.
Right? Yeah, I mean, it was in the trailers, so y'all know what's coming, but they trace it to the docks, and they find a Mr. Mime there.
Oh my god, we never... Anyway. We'll get to it in a second. Just keep going.
Okay. So, they interrogate the Mr. Mime. You've basically seen almost the entire scene from the trailers. But... Yeah,
what I was gonna say, the last scene, they like...
Oh my god, yes!
He like mime and everything that he's... I watched the trailer without sound, so I don't really remember everything that happened in the trailer, but he pours gasoline around this Mr. Mime.
He doesn't actually pour gasoline.
He doesn't. He pours mimes that he's pouring.
So they're trying to get this information out of the Mr. Mime, but the Mr. Mime isn't cooperating with them, and he also can't talk because he's a mime, even though he talks in the anime, but whatever. So Tim has this idea to kind of like take it to his level, and so he starts miming things like the mime was in a box, and so Tim like makes a door handle and opens a door, and then he starts like miming that he's pouring gasoline all over the Mr. Mime and pretends like he's going to light it all up, and then he does the like line away from the room. So they're standing away from the mime, and with this line, and he mimes that he's lighting. Tim mimes that he's lighting a match. And then he gives them the information. Mr. Mime gives them the information, and then he drops.
Then he accidentally drops the match. It
cuts right away. Like, you hear it start to like flame up as if it's actually there.
Yep. They cut. The next scene is just Tim and Pikachu.
We don't see that.
You never see that mime again. I think they killed the Mr.
Mime. Okay, so the Mr. Mime tells them that they got the R, the vial, from this.
Yeah, the vial had a letter R on it.
Yeah,
which isn't super important, but that's why they call it R.
It's called R.
Yeah.
So, which it was called that in the game too.
Gotcha.
Yep.
That's why they first started calling it R, and like why when people refer to R, they know what they're talking about because they had a little R on the thing.
Yep.
Kind of like the Team Rocket R, now that I think about it, actually. But not quite. It has like a little stick on. They're trying to make like English letters look like hiragana.
Yeah.
Like,
which I thought was kind of cool. It was a nice aesthetic.
It is kind of cool. I feel like I read somewhere that like some people don't like that. They like don't. I don't know. I don't remember if that's true or not. Do you ever like? You think you anyway?
Yeah. Anyway. So they trace the source of the R back to this underground Pokemon battling ring. And when they get there, the owner recognizes Harry's Pikachu because he battled with his Charizard and, like, fucked him up real bad.
From the hat, I guess? Or maybe he's just very good at recognizing Pokemon.
Not from the hat. What other Pikachu wears a hat like that?
He wears a little detective's hat that belonged to Harry.
You've seen the trailers.
Maybe they didn't.
Well, if they're at this point, they're interested in the movie. They've probably seen at least an image.
Maybe they just want to fuck you.
I mean, I'm single. So, hit me up. Anyway, so they battle. The dude, because he wants a rematch,
yes.
The dude releases a whole bunch of R. He has, like, a whole bunch in his, like...
Oh my god. I actually weirdly loved that character. I don't know why.
I know, he was interesting.
I don't remember what... Pikachu's like, all I'm getting is something in nips.
Because he's shirtless.
Yeah, so he's
shirtless and
has like, a tattoo that makes it look as though he is a Charizard. His head is his own head, but then he has, like, a Charizard body tattooed on his chest. Yeah. And he has a Charizard.
Yeah. What Pikachu says is, all I'm hearing are consonants and nips.
Yeah.
Or nipples. All I'm getting are consonants and nipples.
All I'm getting are consonants and nips, yeah. Oh my god.
It was really funny. So he releases some R, so the Charizard goes berserk, and Pikachu doesn't have his powers for plot reasons.
He's supposedly because he's amnesiac at this point. He doesn't remember how to use his powers.
And then Tim comes in and because Pikachu's in fucking danger. So Tim comes in and starts, like, trying to save him, and this huge fight scene ensues, and it was, like, super fucking awesome to look at.
It was cool.
Yeah. And then Tim goes up to the dude who owns the Charizard and is like, where did you get this R?
Because he gets in the ring, too. After Tim gets in the ring, he gets in the ring, too. And so
he says, all I know is that I got it from the doctor. And so they are researching about that. I don't even remember what exactly... How they get to the...
The guy has a whole bunch in his jacket that gets damaged, and it gets unleashed on all the Pokemon, and Tim, like, is pinning him down and, like, won't let him run away from the crazy fucking Pokemon. But, like,
after that, because they end up at this laboratory, with Lucy, and I just don't remember how they got there. Like, why they decide, oh, that's right, because he gets in touch with Lucy, they get together and they talk about it, and she has some of Harry's research, so she knows about this lab, and they go and inspect it.
I feel like that doctor lady was somehow how they ended up there. Remember, it was like her tablet or whatever, and she was the one who was like, "It's being breached," and gets thrown back.
Right? Yeah, but it was Lucy's information that led them.
I know. I'm saying I feel like he was like the doctor, and she was like, he mentions a doctor. Yeah. It's this lady, and that's how they end up at the lab. Yeah. Just trying to bridge the plot points, you know.
Honestly, anybody who's at this point has probably seen the movie. I like talking about things.
I'm sorry.
So, they end up at this laboratory, and they find out that, oh my god, I can't believe we forgot to talk about the fucking villains.
Oh yeah, there's some villains.
So, there's this dude named, oh my god, what is his name?
I don't know.
Harold?
I don't know.
Something?
There's this guy and his son, okay?
Yeah.
The guy and the son. We're just gonna call him that. Evil guy and evil son, okay?
He runs this corporation, where he's experimenting on Pokemon.
Really super early on in the movie, he's watching some documentary about Pokemon.
About Rhyme City. He's the founder of Rhyme City.
Basically, yeah, and he's the founder of Rhyme City. That's pretty much it, yeah. And he's sick. He's sick as fuck. He's super fucking sick.
Mm-hmm. And so...
Like ill, not like radical.
And okay, so they go to the lab where evil guy, and I guess his evil son, have been experimenting on Pokemon, trying to figure out the evolution process, because he wants to evolve so that he can get better.
Right.
And
is that before or after they go talk to the guy and he's like, "It's my son, he's terrible"?
You know what? It is before. It is after, I mean. Okay,
yeah, so they talk to evil guy, and he basically puts the whole thing on it. He's like, I should have been there. I should have been a better father once I got sick. My son went fucking crazy, and he's been experimenting on Pokemon, and you have to stop him, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so they go to this lab where Evil Sun, supposedly, has been experimenting on Pokemon, and they come across these Greninjas that are roided out with the purple eyes.
They find this... At the beginning of the movie, you see Mewtwo break out of this laboratory, and it's the same laboratory. You find the room that he broke out of, and you learn a lot about that. You learn that Mewtwo is responsible for Harry's death.
Yeah, there's a little tablet that's still signed in under the name of the doctor that led them to the lab, and Pikachu's fucking around with it, and it loads up these holograms. The same type of hologram that, like, they saw, Okay, so when he goes and he says it was all Evil Sun, they show the hologram that shows Mew.
What was happening at the car crash.
Takes Harry.
Yeah, Mewtwo.
And Mewtwo, sorry. Takes Harry, knocks Pikachu the fuck out.
Yeah.
And that's all you see of that for that point.
Right.
So you see that hologram, and that's like Evil Dad, or Good Dad, trying to show you that he's like on your side. Yeah. Or show Tim that he's on his side. I keep thinking this, like, he's like the player character. So he's trying to show you the player. Anyway. And so you go and you investigate this lab. Maybe Evil Dad tells you about that. I don't fucking remember, dude. I have the worst fucking memory. Yeah. They end up in this lab. That's the important part.
And so they find another hologram of, like, what was going on. They were experimenting on Mewtwo, and you find out that...
Oh, and Lucy has a Psyduck, and it's cute.
Yes, it is cute. And they're really trying to keep him calm, because if he gets too stressed out,
he fucking explodes.
Yeah.
So Pikachu massages his foot in the car, and it's cute.
It's really cute. Okay, so they find out that R is developed from Mewtwo.
Yes, they're like pulling it right the fuck out of him. Yeah.
And so they're trying to find Mewtwo, and they get chased off by the Greninja, and they end up in this Torterra garden where they were experimenting on Torterra evolution
Yeah,
growth.
When they see the Greninjas, Lucy's like, it says, what is it, Torterra?
Torterra.
Torterra growth, but they're normal size, and she's like, oh, I guess, this must be like a really early stage of the experiment. They're just not growing yet. Okay, so
they get chased outside by the Greninja, and they're wandering around this forest, and they finally get rid of the Greninja by giving Psyduck a headache.
Yeah, they run through a door in the
Torterra garden.
In the Torterra garden, which you assume leads outside.
Yeah. And so they're running around, and they finally get rid of the Greninja, and then all of a sudden the ground starts moving, and there's this huge epic sequence
Evil
of them.
Sun unleashes the Greninja because he's watching them through cameras.
Oh, yeah. And so the ground starts moving, and there's this huge sequence of them trying to, like, get to safety and whatnot, and then you find out that the ground is moving because they were standing on top of, like, a whole bunch of mountain-sized Torterra.
They're big as fuck. It was really cool.
And so, after that, Pikachu gets hurt.
Yeah, he gets knocked by a giant rock, because they're not quite sure where the ground is, because it's moving around. They're, like, jumping between.
Yeah. So a rock...
Why am I so... Tortunga?
Torterra.
Tortoise and Terra. Yeah. Torterra. Okay.
Yep.
They're jumping between Torterra, and, like, the ground keeps shifting, so they're never quite sure which way is up. It's a really cool sequence. It's really cool. At one point, everything tilts, and a rock comes and hits Pikachu really fucking hard in the head.
And you basically, like, he pretty much dies. Like, you see the life, like, fading away from him.
Yeah, he goes into the water, like, he gets hit in the head, and then they all fall in the water, so, like, he's got probably water. He's not doing good. Yeah. He ain't, poor
and
Pika.
So Tim, asks these Bulbasaur that show up for help. And after this big dramatic...
Sadie is unsure what is happening. She's really giving us a look.
So, the Bulbasaur lead him to this spot where Mewtwo shows up. And at this point, Tim thinks that Mewtwo is, like, responsible for his dad's death.
Oh, yeah, because that's what the footage made it look like. Yeah.
And so, they're like, oh no, and then, Mewtwo is like, you, have brought me the sun, you kept your promise to Pikachu, and Pikachu's like, what the fuck are you talking about? But then Mewtwo heals him, and then Evil's son, dude, whose name was Roger. I do remember that.
Yes.
I remember his name was Roger. They capture Mewtwo, and they take him home, and
Mewtwo... When Pikachu's like, what? Mewtwo, like...
gives them like a flashback.
A vision of,
so
what
Harry,
actually happened.
Yeah. So Harry was, like, gravely injured by the car accident, which was caused not by Mewtwo, but by
we don't
Roger's
know that yet.
Greninja. No, we do. We know that.
No, that's after Pikachu
right.
walks off all sad, ends up at the bridge, and finds Greninja stars.
Oh, you're right. Spoilers. Anyway,
So at that point, he just thinks that he still thinks Mewtwo caused the crash, but he thinks he was working with Mewtwo and betrayed Harry because he has amnesia. And Mewtwo gives him a vision of Pikachu electroshocking his containment unit, causing it to shut down,
to get him
and
out of there, letting him escape.
Get out and escape. So he's like, I fucked the fuck up, and like runs off. And Tim,
like,
Lucy, and Psyduck go back to the city.
Yep.
And Pikachu takes like a sad, lonely walk where he's singing the Pokemon theme song.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
I know. His facial expressions at that point were like peak. Like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Face.
And so he finds this Greninja star around where the
he ends up on the bridge that the car flipped over and finds Greninja stars, and realizes that Roger must have caused the car crash by sending his Greninjas after him. And then he realizes that Evil Dad would have noticed that in the footage that he showed them, meaning that he's in on it too. Yep. So he knows that Tim's going back to Evil Dad to be like, your evil son has Mewtwo.
Yes,
and so he tries to get back, and Tim is going to tell him that exact information. And
so they go back to the city where this big parade is happening.
Yes, this big parade.
Which is important.
It's an important parade.
Yes. And it's also important for the story.
It's also cool because all of the floats are the
the actual
like cartoony versions
designs,
of the Pokemon, and like they have like the real versions of the Pokemon around helping them put it up, so it's cool. There's like a Bulbasaur being carried by Bulbasaur, or not Bulbasaur, the evolution where it has guns.
What?
Isn't there one?
Evolution what?
No, it's Wartortle. Wartortle is not Bulbasaur. Anyway.
Okay.
Wartortle is like, they have a float of him and he's being carried by Wartortles.
Yep.
It's cool. It's a cool scene.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool, like, I can't get into every single time that there's like a cool fucking scene, but there's a lot of cool scenes.
Okay, so Tim goes to Evil Dad to tell him that his evil son has Mewtwo. And he somehow, can't remember exactly how. I think because he has at the
as
lab,
soon as he comes in, he's got the neural we know that there's like a neural transmitter that exists out there. We've already seen it in the hologram from the lab.
Yep.
So there's a neural link, and as soon as he comes in, the Evil Dad is wearing this neural transmitter.
So Tim figures out that Evil Dad was in on it as well. And then finds out they have Mewtwo. Mewtwo rises from the floor. And
also wearing a neural link.
Yeah. And so Evil Dad switches his consciousness with Mewtwo.
Or he at least, he doesn't switch it. Mewtwo isn't in his body.
True, yeah.
He just inserts himself into Mewtwo's body. Yep. Which sounds very sexual, but I promise you it isn't.
Ooh, that is some sunlight right there.
When I wake up in the morning, love,
that's not helping
and the sunlight hurts my eyes.
Anyway, there's somebody here. Hello. So many people.
I know.
That's why. Anyway, what were we talking? Okay, so Mewtwo, basically, Evil Dad as
goes
Mewtwo
into Mewtwo and is now speaking through Mewtwo with his voice. Notice that. That's important. And then he basically caused all of the parade balloons start leaking. Or no, he goes out and he knocks Tim out.
So his plan is that Mewtwo has the power to put a human's consciousness into a Pokemon, but only when they're in that like berserk state that R puts them in.
Yes.
And so he's filled the balloons with R and starts releasing it.
Yeah, he knocks Tim out, flies out into the city, makes like a big proclamation about what he's about to do, like all good villains do. And then all of the balloons start leaking. They're filled with R, and they all start leaking R all over the place. So Lucy's running through the crowd screaming, "Don't let your Pokemon breathe it in," but it's already happening.
Yep. So Mewtwo starts putting the consciousness of all of the humans inside the Pokemon.
Lucy inside
including Lucy, yep. Pikachu runs up and sees Lucy in Psyduck and knows it's Lucy, which I thought was cool.
I did too.
That there wasn't this like dragged out scene of him like figuring out that it was Lucy.
Yeah,
and like,
you don't hear Lucy's voice coming out. It actually kind of sounds like Lucy saying Psyduck, which is an interesting development. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought maybe, but yeah.
We'll have to watch it again.
It's like a little, I don't know. It's not like her voice, but it's slightly different. You can tell it's a little different.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, he comes up and he's like, and she's like,
he's like, "Where's Tim? I gotta find Tim."
And he's like, "Lucy, you're in there. Where's Tim?" And she says that he's up in the room with where Evil Dad was.
Yep. Okay, and so then cut back to Tim, and he wakes up and realizes what the hell is going on because Evil Dad's lifeless body is just lying limp in his chair.
Yeah.
And then he hears this like rumbling from the closet, and he opens it up, and Evil Son falls out, and he's been like kidnapped basically.
Yeah,
but
he's bound and gagged and been stuffed in the closet.
And then Evil Son shows up, and you're like, wait, what? And then Evil Son, they did a pretty good job of not making it conspicuous because I wasn't like, Evil Son always wears sunglasses. That didn't really occur to me until even Evil Son took off his sunglasses and he had Ditto eyes. Well, no, it wasn't Evil Son.
Oh, it was Pink Girl.
Pink Girl, who like...
When they were at the battle thing, she called and was like, or she texted, the kid is here and Harry's Pikachu is with him.
And then she's the one who finds Tim and sends them up to Evil Dad.
Yes.
Yeah. Something I noticed, she never speaks.
Yeah, no, she doesn't.
Which I thought was cool because it would have been a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
She's a Ditto.
She's a Ditto, and then she turns into Evil Son.
Yep.
I think it's the other way around. I think Evil Son comes out, takes off his sunglasses, and turns into Pink Girl.
Evil Son comes out, turns into Pink Girl, and then takes off his sunglasses. And not that the order
it doesn't really matter, but the fact that like you see Evil Son first wearing the sunglasses is important.
Yeah.
And then he turns into Ditto Girl, Pink Girl, who's a Ditto, takes off the sunglasses, Ditto eyes.
Fight ensues.
And there was an earlier scene, and Nick pointed out to me.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Early on, very early on.
Very early on, yeah.
They're like getting an interview or something, and Evil Dad is there, and there's a Ditto, and the Ditto turns into a man and wheels, because Evil Dad's in a wheelchair, wheels Evil Dad away. And Nick was like, Dittos don't usually do that. And I was like, I don't know things.
Yeah, and apparently it was like Ditto that was experimented on. Like, Dittos can't normally turn into humans.
Right, exactly.
So that was really cool. And it was really cool because I saw it coming in that scene, but not before that.
Yeah.
But all of the breadcrumbs were left there.
Yeah, and the girl is wearing Ditto-colored clothing all the time. And her hair is pink.
I did notice that her hair was pink and that she had these, like, pink gloves. I just thought that she really liked pink.
I like pink. I'm not a Ditto.
Exactly. No, you don't have the beady eyes. So Ditto and Tim fight, and the way that he ends up defeating the Ditto, which you pointed out to me, actually.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of canisters of the R around. And so he starts smashing them open, and as they spray the Ditto, it's not turning the Ditto batshit, it's just like hurting it, it's just cowering, and so turns back into a Ditto. And at first I was like, why would that happen? And then I was like, I remember reading that Ditto is a failed Mew. Like that's at least been a going theory. I don't know how solidly confirmed that was until now, but that seemed pretty confirmed here.
Yeah.
Because one, Ditto was an experiment. They like by him, they say that like Ditto was who, and like he was the guy who came out with Mewtwo.
Yeah.
As well. So like the guy who made Mewtwo also was
he didn't actually make Mewtwo. Mewtwo.
Oh, that's right.
They said that
Mewtwo.
Yeah, they said that Mewtwo escaped from Kanto, which is the game that the one that we're playing right now.
I thought that they were implying. It seemed to me. I think what they either implied or said was that Evil Dad was responsible for Mewtwo, and Evil Son, and like Mewtwo got loose, and then Evil Son kidnapped Mewtwo again.
No. Mewtwo escaped from the Kanto region, which is the region that the game that we're playing takes place in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that this movie takes place in the anime continuity, or at least based on the anime continuity, and we've already seen Mewtwo.
Okay.
I think it's supposed to be like generations after the anime.
Gotcha. Okay.
But where were we?
The Ditto.
Yeah. So the Ditto
it seemed like
dies.
they were implying that like there was something up with Ditto because it reacted very different from it. It like melts. Like he sprays it and it melts.
Yeah, it was a little weird, but I liked it.
But
cool.
I was like, that actually makes a lot of sense because they pulled that from Mewtwo, so it makes sense that like spraying Ditto with Mewtwo would make it be like, you're spraying me with me.
Okay, and so Mewtwo is out and turning people into Pokemon.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah, he's putting people's consciousness into their partner Pokemon. Yeah. Everybody has a partner Pokemon except him.
Yep. Well, now he does. Well, not now,
really,
but like he did at that point because
he called him his partner when he was dying.
Oh my god, it was so
hit by the rock.
Okay, so
and the whole thing about him not wanting the partner, which we didn't really get into, is that he used to be really into Pokemon training and was like, this is a really important day for me. How dare my parents not be there? And they were like, well, your mom really needed to go to the hospital. And then his mom died that day, which was sad. That was a sad scene.
Yeah.
But that's his deal with not wanting to have a Pokemon anymore.
And then the dad went to Rhyme City, threw himself into his work, and Tim was
raised by his grandma.
Yeah. Tim was supposed to go to Rhyme City and live with his dad.
He was like 11, yeah.
Yeah, but he was like, I don't want to go. So he didn't go.
He didn't think his dad really cared about him, but then once he actually was like looking at his dad's apartment, he saw that he had like set up a whole room for him and like was gonna send him a card for his 21st birthday with a ticket to come visit him.
Yeah, there was this really, really emotional scene between Tim and Pikachu, and it was handled really well.
It was really good.
I'm not gonna say anything more about it because like I wouldn't be doing it justice. It just like it literally made me cry, or at least I started tearing up. Okay, so Mewtwo has put people's consciousness into their partner Pokemon. What happens after that? How does Pikachu and Mewtwo end up fighting, or Evil Dad and Mewtwo end up fighting?
Basically, like he
distracts Mewtwo long enough for Tim, who's just woken back up, to okay, he's fallen out the window, and Roger helps him up, and then Pikachu distracts...
real Roger.
Yeah, the real Roger.
Actually, it turns out, doesn't seem to be that bad of a dude.
Yeah. So...
His evil dad was just using a Ditto to pretend to be him.
Yep. Okay, so... Pikachu distracts Mewtwo long enough by battling with him that he... Tim gets a chance to pull the... what is it called?
Like the neural link.
The neural transmitter off of Evil Dad and basically like rip his consciousness from Mewtwo.
Yes.
Who then he and Pikachu start falling, but then Mewtwo wakes up and saves him, and then he is like, I can return everybody back to normal. So Mewtwo puts everybody back to normal, and then is like, there's one thing left to do, and reveals...
It's actually a really cute scene when everybody gets separated from their partner Pokemon, because they're all just like, are you okay?
It was so cute. The lady who like leans down and is like petting her like Cubone and being like, are you okay? Anyway, so Mewtwo reveals...
The, what's his name? The dude who worked with his dad, who has the little pink guy.
The police captain. Yep, with the snubble.
They were like, it was cute.
It was so cute. Okay, so Mewtwo reveals that after the accident, Harry was gravely injured. Pikachu was not. And Pikachu willingly offered its body to Harry so that Mewtwo could take Harry's body so that he would survive.
Yes.
So Mewtwo put Harry's consciousness in Pikachu, which is the Pikachu that we had been following.
You also
the whole
never
movie.
see Harry's face.
Yes.
So you don't know that Harry is Ryan Reynolds.
But, like, you know.
I didn't. I really didn't. I did not see that coming. I genuinely didn't. Nope. I thought my thinking was that, like, Harry had been somehow trying to use the stuff to, like, reverse engineer it to make the link between Pokemon and humans better by allowing them to communicate.
Oh, okay.
That was my theory. That was my theory.
That's a good theory. I actually like that one. No, I actually had this theory when I was playing the game, and it wasn't like I saw it coming in this because I already had the theory, and then they also like explained that Mewtwo could transfer consciousnesses.
Yeah.
Consciousness.
I when was it? In the scene where he was like, if your dad was here, I know he would be really proud of you.
Yes.
I was kind of like, is he here? Is he you? But then I was like, no.
I actually like your theory. That would have been cool. But I feel like it's more of an emotional gut punch this way to find out that Pikachu is actually his dad. But yeah, no, I knew, like, once they confirmed that the Pikachu was his dad, I knew that Ryan Reynolds was going to be his dad.
Right. I guess
like,
I kind of figured.
For like half a second, I was like, is he just going to have like a different voice when he's in Pikachu form? Is it going to be a different guy? Anyway, Ryan Reynolds looked really hot when he showed up.
He looked good. And
he looked really hot.
My first thought wasn't, oh, look, it's his dad. It was, oh my God, this kid gets to meet Ryan Reynolds. I just was like, wow, is this just one of those, like,
meta
we
moments?
went to New York and Conan walked by. Like, I was like, why is, like, I guess Pikachu and Ryan Reynolds are just really good bros, and that's why he has Ryan Reynolds' voice. Like, and then the dad was going to come out later. I don't know what I was thinking, but my first thought was not that's his dad. It was, oh, Ryan Reynolds.
I mean, yeah, because he's Ryan Reynolds.
He is Ryan Reynolds, but
so it's like
I just thought he was going to be Ryan Reynolds as Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
Somehow. But yeah, it was
so
cute.
that's pretty much the end of the movie.
Well, he decides to stay with his dad.
Oh yeah, he does.
Pikachu.
It was cute.
It was cute.
Really
and you get
cute.
to hear Pikachu actually talking as Pikachu. It's cute. You'll only hear him talk as Pikachu a couple times throughout the movie. There's one part where he's like in a market. Because after Tim runs away from the
Apom.
Why can I not think of their names?
There are so many of them. I do not fault you for not remembering.
Oh my God,
names.
the Apom. After he runs it, why are they called Apom? Maybe then I'll remember what the deal. Why is okay?
It's pun on ape. I know. I don't know.
Oh, like ape and palm because they have a hand.
But it's not a palm. It's a palm. Anyway.
I'll remember it better that way, though. Monkey with a palm. Ape with a palm. Apom. Okay, Apom. He runs away from the Apom. The Apom grab his belt. His pants fall off. So he, like, runs into a market, like, being chased. Like, and they stop being crazy. So he's like, they're after me! And, like, and they look back and they're just like,
I really liked the scene where Justice Smith's living in his underwear. I have a huge crush on Justice Smith.
Oh my God. Pikachu was like, what was it? They're being allured by your growing nudity. I was like, so is he. And I'm not saying he ain't cute. He's really, alright. He's cool.
He's really cute.
He's good looking. He's a decent looking dude. But yeah, so he runs into this market, pantsless. And Pikachu was like running along, and there's like these people, and they're like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Don't you hear him speaking?" And like it cuts to Pikachu just being like, "Pika Pika." And they're like, I sure do, Pika Pika.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So now that we've basically covered the entire plot, I actually don't know if we will have enough film because we spent so long discussing the plot. What other, like, details that are now spoilerific?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I feel like we kind of went through the movie and talked about our feelings about the movie as we went. But...
One little detail that I really liked was that, like, Pokemon cards exist in this universe.
Oh, I didn't even think about that, but you're right. They
do. Yep, because when Tim walks into the room that his dad set up for him, there's, like, a binder
there's a book of Pokemon cards.
Yeah. Pikachu actually, like, mentions it. He's like...
And it seems like the show might exist because Pikachu's singing the theme song.
Yeah.
I was like, I love the idea of, like, Pikachu watching Pokemon and being like, I want to be like that Pikachu. Like...
that would be really cute.
Pikachu was a star to them, you know? It's like the famous Pikachu that got to be with Ash.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if it's like documentary to them, or like if it's like a fictionalization of like what Pokemon training is like. You know what I mean? Like, is it like a filmed television program? Like, what if Steve Irwin, you know?
Yeah, that's I don't know. The way that it plays out, like if it was actually just like what the anime is, I feel like it would just be like a fictionalized story of this kid going
that would
on
make sense.
Pokemon journey. And like
kind of like how we might watch a movie about like somebody becoming a celebrity. They might not be like a real celebrity. It's just a story that would happen in our world.
It's basically the Pokemon anime in this Detective Pikachu verse is like A Star Is Born. So yeah, no, I thought the Pokemon cards.
That was a cool detail. I really liked the part where what was it? It was like a little lizardy looking thing.
Trico?
It's just like, it was like stuck to the thing. It was like a really, like when he goes to his dad's apartment for the first time, he walks by like the receptionist desk. There's just a Trico, and he's like looking as he goes by. It's cute.
It was cute, yeah. A lot of the Pokemon were really, really cute.
They were honestly almost all really cute. I can't, like, the only one that wasn't, like, blatantly cute to me was Gyarados?
Gyarados?
Yeah. But, like, he was, like, cool. He just, like, I feel
I mean, same with Charizard.
Yeah, he wasn't all that. Actually, the little wrinkly skin on Charizard's belly kind of weirded me out, to be honest. I just have weird things about skin.
Yeah, no, but, I feel that.
He looked cool. He looked dragony.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the scene where the Magikarp, like, evolves into the Gyarados.
That was amazing!
Really cool.
Because they like, a fish tank breaks open,
and there's a Magikarp
is flopping the exact same way that he does behind you in Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. Which was great, because that's... I miss when Maggie used to flop around behind us. I guess spoilers, because we're not actually at that point yet, and...
I'm pretty sure they all assumed that if we get a Magikarp, we're going to evolve it into Gyarados at some point.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Yep. She becomes like our main Pokemon for a while, too.
Yeah, well, I wanted to have her following me, but she was too fucking big. They wouldn't let me.
Yeah. So, Detective Pikachu was really, really good.
So good.
Really
Strongly recommend.
Mm-hmm. Any closing thoughts?
Not really. Go see Detective Pikachu. It's an hour and 45 minutes and you'll enjoy yourself.
The end credits were like really cool. Like
they were really cool. There's no post-credit scene, but they make it look like a Pokemon battle, like an old style one.
Yeah. And that like it starts with this like 8-bit like the first game.
Yeah.
And then it evolves into this like kind of anime manga style of all the characters, and they all look so fucking cute. Like,
it was so cool. It was, I don't know, there were I'm a little behind on knowing. There were a lot of Pokemon where I was like, what is that thing? And you had to be like, it's a newer one. I mean, they all looked really cool. There were some I didn't recognize, but I still thought it was fucking cool. And the ones I did recognize, it was really cool to see them in real.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
in real.
You get me though.
They
and
do
just
look
all
a lot
the little like, I don't even know how to explain it. Little like world details of like just their world where Pokemon are the animals of the world was cool. Like the opening scene or I don't know if it's the opening scene, but there's definitely a scene where you're kind of flying on the back of a sparrow.
Oh yeah,
and
that
you're
was really
seeing
cool.
all these, like, there's a farm of toros, and
it was neat. It was really
I can't think of more examples, but it was cool. It was all the wildlife being wildlife the way that they would be. I feel like you don't get to see that a lot in the game, and in the show they don't really focus a whole lot on that. So it was cool. Yeah. It was cool to see. I dug it. I dug it a lot.
Well, I think that's all.
I think that's all of it.
Cool. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.